how to get better at literally anything. Hey, what is up guys? It is Harrison Barron, the Millennial Entrepreneur, and like I just said, this is how you get better at anything. And this is something that I have specifically done, and I can promise you it works. Now, I'm not gonna say like, hey, this is some magic secret or anything like that. It is literally so simple, but for whatever reason, most people don't do this. And I think this is kind of why I'm making this video. I think a lot of people really need to hear this because it'll give so many people so much passion and drive to complete whatever they're doing. And that is doing something 100 times. Now you might be thinking, Harrison, that's the dumbest thing in the world. Why would I want to do something 100 times? Well, rumor has it, and I say rumor because I've had trouble finding it online. However, this is kind of a self-experiment that I've done over the last 111 or 12 days now, making YouTube videos. And that is doing something 100 times. So the story goes, there was a Harvard photography class. The class was split up into two groups, Group A and Group B. Group A specifically had one job. By the end of the semester, they had to take one perfect picture. Group B, on the other hand, all they had to do was take 100 great pictures. That was it. Both of them had their tasks, both of them had their jobs. At the end of the semester, a major shift happened. And that shift is Group A, the group that had to take one perfect picture, the students ended up spending all of this time working on that one picture, and Group B, they took hundreds and hundreds of pictures looking for the best 100 pictures. And the results were pretty surprising. At the end of the semester, Group A, their picture was okay. The students were so focused on taking such a great picture that they never took a lot of pictures. They'd, perfect the lighting and really the composure and the bokeh. And Group B, they just took hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pictures and picked the best 100 images. And the results were Group B got significantly better results, and they performed so much better at photography than Group A. Now you might be thinking, Harrison, how does this relate to me? Trust me, I'm about to tell you. So I've been doing 120 YouTube videos in 120 days. So I'm almost done. I have like 7 or 8 days left of it. Over those course of 100 days, I've learned a lot about YouTube. I've learned a lot about video. I've learned a lot about doing one-shot takes, right? I took the other video, I was outside, my buddy was standing by, and he was like, dude, he's like, I don't understand how you did that perfectly one shot, right? I did it 100 times. I can't tell you how many times I've had bloopers or complete failures, and now I've gotten it down to a science where I could say, okay, great, I know what video I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go do a little bit of research on that, and then on top of that, I'm gonna go make this video, and I have mental notes, and I'm very well equipped to make the video, right? That is the exact process. Now, this doesn't just go with photography. This goes with anything you're doing. It doesn't matter if you're training a dog. It doesn't matter if you're building websites. It doesn't matter if you, I don't know, maybe you're the best guy on the block and you want to have the greenest grass, right? Make sure you do it for 100 days and learn what works and what doesn't work in whatever you're doing, right? Because I know that I've helped so many people. I think like 17,000 plus views in this channel, and it keeps growing, which is incredible to me. But a lot of people don't realize that you could do 100 of anything, right? If you want to get better at archery, go shoot 100 arrows and then go shoot another 100 arrows. In my personal opinion, my videos in the beginning were awful. It actually took me about 100-ish videos to really kind of get it dialed in, and now I'm doing my second 100, and my videos have gotten incredibly better. I mean, like, it's insane how much different they are. And the other crazy part is too, because of that, my thumbnails are better, my descriptions are better, my tags are more accurate. All of these other aspects start to fall into place that weren't even originally anticipated. And I think this is really where a lot of businesses maybe not fail, but they're missing the mark on being as good as they possibly could be because they're not willing to do something 100 times, right? And it doesn't have to be anything specific. It could be a boring, mundane task, but you could be the best at doing the boring, mundane task. I know it sounds ridiculous, but think about it, right? If you're gonna go detail cars, the first car you're gonna detail is probably gonna be pretty rough, right? You're still learning, you might make some swirl marks. It could be it could be a really bad experience. Whereas after you do it 100 times, you're pretty much gonna know everything. Now, you might not be an expert. I think after the first 100 to the 500 mark is where you start to really develop the expertise and the really, really refined level of skill. But the first 100, after that first 100, you're gonna be really, really, really good at washing your car or whatever you're doing, right? Once again, building websites. Maybe it's making toys. Maybe it's manufacturing. Maybe it's programming the machines. it doesn't really matter what that 100 is that you're doing over and over and over again. But once you start doing it, you're really going to start to dial in on it. And don't do 100 things back to back to back to back, right? Don't do like, oh, I'm going to cook up, I don't know, 100 steaks in one day. That would serve you no purpose. You're not going to spend the time, energy, and effort with each steak in this case. It doesn't really matter what it is. I'm just using steak in this example. But I think a lot of people, they're so focused on like, okay, I can do that 100 times. I'm sure you probably could, but when you do it once per day for 100 days and you give yourself a little bit of time to work through it and work out the problem, you're going to get so much better at it, right? When I first got this camera, I had no idea how to use it. It legitimately took probably, I don't know, 30, 40 mess around with and videos to watch and playing around with the lighting and figuring all that out till it actually got good. And then even still, after it got good, it's only getting better, and I'm still refining my settings and adjusting. And even now, right, like I'm sitting in my office in a different part of my office, and I have to make sure that everything's dialed in, right? So now that I'm starting to figure things out, I've set up this light probably 20 or 30 different times in different locations. I might not have liked them all, you guys might not have seen it, but I've done it over and over again, right? The little light behind me, the little green light, I've changed that. I've figured out and messed around with those settings and tried to play with that. I mean, it's not just one thing. It's doing it over and over and over again. And give yourself time. Like, you don't have to sit there and study what you created, right? I think that's kind of crazy. But give yourself time to think about what you did and then do it again tomorrow. And then do it again tomorrow. And that's going to make you the best at anything you're going to do. Once again, it does not matter what industry you're in, what you do for a living. Maybe it's power washing, right? Your first house is probably going to be okay. You're probably going to miss some spots. Second house, probably same thing, right? But by house 30 or 40, you're probably going to get pretty good at it, right? But there's going to be challenges that you're going to find along the way. And I think this is really where that 100 repetitions really matters, because yes, you could probably learn something in, I would argue, between 20 and 40 tries or repetitive tasks. After that, it's all about developing a level of expertise. So in video, right, I can't tell you how many times I've forgotten to turn the microphone on. I have so many videos, I mean, they're all deleted now, but of me just talking just like this, and then I go back and look at the audio and I'm like, I didn't do a mic check. I didn't do any of the necessary steps that I should be doing because I've done this 100 times and I'm getting complacent, right? These are all different things that you need to think about, right? Of whatever task you're doing, really think deep down. And look, we're all human. We're all going to make mistakes. But doing these tasks over and over and over again 100 times is going to make you an absolute, maybe not expert, but you are going to be far better than the average person and probably getting close into that expertise. I would say you're probably going to be a professional after you do 100, and then anything after professional is going to be your expert status, right? I mean, I might not be an expert on YouTube, but I would definitely say I'm expert in using my equipment and making things work correctly. That's definitely something that I'm an expert in. So you have to really think about, what is it that you're going to do? Can you spend more time doing it, right, or less time doing it? In many cases, it's me. I have to go record the video. I have to go edit, right? It took me hundreds of edits to really dial in the process, and now you guys see it, right? I ask a funny question or I say a statement in the beginning, boom, cuts over to the intro, and then I go into my speaking, and then it goes into, I always say bye, and then it goes into the close, right? And then I upload it to YouTube, and I add the descriptions and the titles, and I really just try to do my best job possible in doing that over and over and over again 100 times, back to back to back. That's the catch. It has to be back to back to back. If I only picked it up once every week, I'd forget about what I already did. And then the skills that I learned the week before might not be nearly as important or valuable at the following week because I've already forgotten them. I'll retain much less information. And this goes back to that Harvard study, right? You have people that are so focused on that one perfect video or photo, but the students that did 100 and learned lights and adjustments and moving the camera and really dialing that in, that's when it's going to be really, really good. All right. I like photography because I think everybody knows photography, right? That's why a really good photographer costs hundreds of thousands of dollars or thousands of dollars, depending on your event, right? Because they only have one shot to get it right, and you're paying for all of their skills to be used on that one moment, right? Whereas you could probably hire anybody with a halfway decent camera and get some okay pictures, right? But you're not going to have the highest quality of picture. You're not going to have the best editing afterwards. You're not going to have maybe every candid moment that happened, right? These are all things to think about when you're doing 100 repetitions of whatever it might be. That's when you're going to get good. Even going to the gym, right? The first time you go to the gym, you might not be that good at it, right? But you're going to go home, you're going to maybe watch some YouTube, you're going to learn something, right? And then you're gonna go back to the gym tomorrow and you're gonna do a better job the next time, right? And then you're gonna keep doing this. And that 1% for 100 days is just gonna compound and compound of you doing 1% better every single day for 100 days. That is the difference between somebody that doesn't do 100 repetitions versus somebody that does. You're going to be so much better, right? I don't understand why people make like, oh, I made 10 podcasts, or I made 10 videos for YouTube and I'm not famous yet. Because you're so focused on making 10 good videos when you could have made 100 great videos or okay videos that would have drastically surpassed and gotten your skills and expertise far better than those 10 would have originally. So these are just things to think about, and I think a lot of people don't use the rule of 100 enough. And look, it could be business, right? We do SEO in my agency. I mean, it took us a while to learn it, and more often we're getting more validating signs saying, hey, you guys are really, really good at it. But the first couple clients, it was difficult to say like, hey, we didn't know what we were talking about. They were just kind of taking a leap of faith. Now we get to hold up the data and the analytics, and they're like, wow, this is pretty impressive, right? After doing it hundreds of times. It goes for any field. So whatever it is that you do, just try doing it over and over and over again, and you'll learn and go back and study and analyze what you did, or go watch all YouTube videos that support what you were doing, and you'll pick things up that you may have never known before, and it's just gonna make you so much better in whatever you're doing. I can promise you guys that. So if I have a challenge for you guys, go do 100, whatever it is. Leave a comment down below. I'm really curious to see what you guys are gonna do, but leave a comment down below of what you plan on doing 100 of, and try to do it every single day, right? If you wanna get good at skateboarding or BMX biking, go do it every single day for 100 days, and let me know. I'm curious to see how impactful it is from day 1 to day 100. I can almost guarantee you will be light years better than what you were. So, I hope this video helps. If you guys found value in this, hit that like button. It helps the YouTube algorithm. Hit that subscribe button, little notification bell. I'll see you guys later. Bye.